ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المعصومين المظلومين. صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله، صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله، صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله. يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة، غريب يا مظلوم كربلاء، يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الأخلاء يومئذ بعضهم لبعض عدو إلا المتقين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. Enlighten your hearts and souls with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran that the friends Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the friends on that day, the friends on that day will become foes, they will become enemies. Which day? On the day of judgment. Except the muttaqeen, except the pious ones. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran. Now, the concept of friendship, Islam, it encourages us to have friends. It encourages us, young, old, male, female, encourages us to have companions and friends. And at the same time, it gives us the guidelines into what we have to look for in a companion or a friend. Now, the friend could be, the title of today is the key to success or failure. Friends could be either the reason that we succeed in life, or they could be the reason that we fail. And the ultimate failure is to end up in hell, wal-'iyadhu billah. Now, throughout this speech, we'll have a look at three main components. The first component is Islam. What does it say about friendship? What importance does Islam give to friendship? Number two is what are the influences of friends? We'll have a look at how friends can influence us. There's different ways. And number three, we'll have a look at how to choose friends. The Imams very beautifully tell us what to look in a friend. We'll begin with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. As I said earlier, friends could be the reason for our success in life or our failure. Our success in everyday life, in business, in education, or failure in business, in education, or the ultimate failure, as I said, to end up in hell, wal-'iyadhu billah. Now, sociologists say that individual humans are naturally type of people, or they're it's in their innate nature to look for companions, to be around people. Naturally, that's how we are wired. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi says in a narration, Al-mu'min ya'laf wa yu'laf. The pious person, the mu'min, you are all mu'mineen, ya'laf wa yu'laf. It means that the mu'min is sociable. The mu'min is someone that can socialize with people and people can socialize with them. Any of these narrations that we look at, we must understand that these are characteristics that we must have. Before we look into other people, we have to make sure we have them as well. Then the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, وَلَا خَيْرَ فِي مَنْ لَا يَأْلَفْ وَيُؤْلَفْ, that there is no benefit at all in the person that is not sociable. If I can't socialize with someone, then there is no benefit in that person. That is what Rasulullah says. It shows us the importance of having companions around us. The Prophet says in another narration, إِنَّ الْمُؤْمِنَ لَيَسْكُنْ إِلَى الْمُؤْمِنِ كَمَا يَسْكُنُ الظَّمْآنِ إِلَى الْمَاءِ الْبَارِدِ, that the mu'min, the pious one, is comforted by other pious people. Now, just a side note here. When the narrations mention mu'min, it's not just talking about the believing brother. It's talking about the brothers and the sisters. All narrations that refer to the mu'min are referring to both. Now, Rasulullah says that the mu'min is comforted in the presence of other mu'mineen, other friends, just like a thirsty person is comforted with cold water. How comforted are you when you drink cold water on a very hot day? This is how Rasulullah compares a friend, a good friend, with drinking water on a hot day. Now, we've taken two lessons. One, that we have to be sociable. We have to be able to socialize. Number two is we have to be comforted by other people, and other people have to be comfortable around us. Imam al-Redha alayhi salam, he tells us how many friends we should have. He tells us the importance of having a certain number of friends. The Imam says, قال لقمان لابنه يا بني اتخذ ألف صديق وألفا قليل ولا تتخذ عدوا واحد والواحد كثير. The Imam says that Luqman told his son, have 1,000 friends. Obviously referring to good friends, and we'll get to that. And 1,000 is not enough. And do not have one enemy, and even one enemy is too much. That is what Imam Redha alayhi salam tells us. And then Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam says, this is where we find the benefit. Why it is important to have friends. Why are the Imams telling us to have this many friends? Imam al-Sadiq says, أكثروا من الأصدقاء فإنهم ينفعون في الدنيا والآخرة. That gather as many friends as you can. Why? Because they help you in this life and in the hereafter. We all know that we can benefit from our friends in this life. But how would we benefit from our friends, our companions, on the day of judgment, in the hereafter? The Imam says, أما في الدنيا فحوائج يقومون بها. That as for this life, the friends help us with our everyday tasks. They help us if we're in need. If we need someone to speak to, they're there to listen. If we're struggling in life, then they help us as well. Then the Imam says how they benefit us in the hereafter. The Imam says, وَأَمَّا فِي الْآخِرَةِ فإن أهل جهنم قالوا فما لنا من شافعين ولا صديق حميم. The Imam says, as for the hereafter, the people of hell, what did they say? They said that we did not have any intercessors, nor did we have any caring friends. This tells us something very important. What this narration tells us is that our friends will act as intercessors on the day of judgment. Our friends, our sister that attends with us, if you're a sister, if you have another sister that's a friend, your sister will tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment that this girl used to attend the majalis. She used to wear the hijab. She never used to wear makeup uncovered. If you're a brother and have other friends, then you will tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is someone that used to attend majalis, this is someone that used to go to ziyarah. Friends intercede for each other. And the Imam will make this clear. The Imam says, in another narration, he says, إذا مات المؤمن فحضر جنازته 40 مؤمنا. That if a believer was to die and another 40 believers attend their funeral, what happens? The Imam says, these 40 people, they say, اللهم لا نعلم منه إلا خيرا وأنت أعلم به منا. That these 40 believers, they attend the funeral and they say, oh Allah, we do not know but good from this friend. We do not know but righteous actions from this person. And you know him more than we do, or you know her more than we do. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَدْ أَجَزْتُ شَهَادَتُكُمْ وَغَفَرْتُ لَهُ مَا عَلِمْتُ مِمَّا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that I have accepted your witness. And I have forgiven this person, male or female, whoever they are. I have forgiven this person from what I know from them that you don't even know. As long as these friends are witnessing for you, these believers are witnessing for you, this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do for us. He will accept their witness. This means that as a believer, I should not go around and speak about what I do. If I accidentally perform an act of sin, I should not be proud of it. I should not tell anyone about it. Committing a sin is one issue. And then being proud and telling people about it and being proud about it is a great issue as well. How can I expect other believers to attend my funeral and witness for me being a good person when I'm walking around and telling them about what I do outside of the majalis, what I do in my private time? We should not perform the sin in the first place, and then we should not talk about it either if we do accidentally. Nabi Dawood alayhi salam, he was once walking and he came across a very pious man that was worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very sincerely. So he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what's the story of this man? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that this person is a show-off. He's not really worshipping me. This guy is actually doing this for other people to see. So Nabi Dawood said, okay, and he kept walking. Not long after, this man died, and Nabi Dawood did not attend his funeral. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Dawood, why did you not attend the funeral? He said, Ya Allah, you told me he's a show-off. Mura, he's a show-off. Why do you want me to attend the funeral anymore? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, yes, that is correct. However, when this person died and they were washing him, 40 believers came forward and they said, oh Allah, we do not know but good from this person. And you know this person more than we do. That's 40 people. And then when they were washing, they washed him already. When they were covering him with the shroud, another 40 people came and they said, oh Allah, we do not know but good from this person, and you know this person more than us. Then when they were burying him, another 40 people came and they said the same thing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Dawood alayhi salam that I have forgiven this man for the witness of these mu'mineen, for the believers that witness for him. So this is the importance and the benefits of our companions in this life and the hereafter. Great and remarkable benefits that we can have from our friends. However, we must ensure they are the right people. Now, number 2 is, what are the extents and the influences of our friends? Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. friendship could either be the best thing that ever happens to us, or it could be one of the worst and most dangerous things that could happen to us, whether we are young or old. Sometimes you find a person can maintain good friendships throughout their life, and then at their old age, they interact with the wrong people, and wal'ayadu billah, they do not have husn al-aqibah. They do not have a good ending to their life. Friends can influence us internally, and they can also influence us externally. How? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi says, المرء على دين خليله فلينظر أحدكم من يخالل. That an individual is and follows the religion and the beliefs of their friends, of their companions. So ensure you monitor what your friends are like. Ensure you monitor what belief structures your friends have. Whether I like it or not, if I interact with the wrong people, if I interact with someone that has the wrong beliefs, the wrong ideologies, I will pick up those ideologies without realizing. And they do it slowly. You know, they won't straight away tell you, don't pray. They'll tell you, let's not go to the majlis tonight. Let's go to what was happening yesterday. There was some sort of event. Let's not go to the majlis tonight. And slowly, step by step, they will take you away from performing your obligations. If the friends are able to influence us to the extent to change our beliefs, then they can influence our morals, our wariness towards Allah. They can change anything. That's the internal impact. The external impact, friends can influence how people perceive us. For example, when I'm going for marriage, if the family of a boy, a young man, go to the family of a woman, asking for her hand, one of the things that family of the young lady will do is usually they will look at the friends of that individual. What people does that person surround themselves with? Are they good or bad? Why? Because if I associate with the wrong people, people that have the wrong morals, then that means I agree with them. If you don't agree with them, then why am I with them if I don't agree with them? And the same thing happens when the family of a boy want to go and ask for a young lady. They will look at that girl, they will look at her surroundings before they ask for her. So friendships can either influence our marriage in a good way, if we have the good friends around us, good surroundings, and in a bad way if we have the wrong people around us. Friendships can influence people's view towards us. How? Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, لا تصاحبوا أهل البدع فتصيروا عند الناس كواحد منهم. He says, do not befriend the ones that innovate in religion. Why? Because people will see you as one. People will see you as the same person. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi said, المرء على دين خليله أو قرينه. Because Rasulullah said that an individual follows the same religion, same beliefs that the friend follows. Number 3, friends can influence us in causing the greatest loneliness. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi says, أوحش الوحشة قرين السوء. The greatest form of loneliness, what is it? Is it not having family? Or is it, what is it? Not having, okay, maybe is it not having any friends? Or is it going to jail? Or what is the loneliness? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alayhi, the greatest loneliness is having the bad friends. Having bad companions around us. How? Think of it this way. If I have the wrong people around me, then what I would do automatically is push the good people away from me. People that are good, they will act and tread very carefully around you if you associate with the wrong people. So once these good people leave me, I'm left with the bad people, with the bad friends. Before I know it, as soon as I go through any sort of difficulty, these bad friends are going to leave me. They'll leave me. They won't hang around during difficulty. The greatest form of loneliness is going to hell. There was a man by the name of Al-A'sha. Al-A'sha was a great poet in the time of the Jahiliyyah, the ignorant people of the past. This man, he heard of the Prophet and he was intrigued. You know, what does this Prophet have to say? He was interested in what the Prophet has to say. So he decided to go from his city of Najd to Mecca to see the Prophet. On the way out of the city, he came across one of his very good friends. Or, not a good friend. One of his very close friends, I should say. This friend told him, where are you going? He said, I'm going to see what this Prophet has to say. What this man that calls himself a Prophet. I want to see what he has to say. He said, I don't think you should go. Listen to this. I don't think you should go. This man's religion is very complicated. Al-A'sha said, no, it's fine. Even if it's complicated, I'll go and see what he has to say. He threw his first bait. He's fishing. It didn't work. He threw his second bait. He said, by the way, I heard that this man's religion, it prohibits adultery. Al-A'sha said, adultery is a great sin. Al-A'sha said, well, look, I don't really agree with adultery in the first place. I'll still go and see what he has to say. The second bait didn't work. He threw his third bait. He said, by the way, this man's religion, it prohibits alcohol. Al-A'sha thought to himself, he said, okay, you've got me here. He said, okay, I've been used to drinking this my whole life. I can't leave it now. Look, what I'll do is I'll go back with you to the city, but next year I want to go. I want to go and see the Prophet, or see this man and see what he has to say. He went back home before the next year came around. Al-A'sha died. He died as a disbeliever. He could have gone to the Prophet. Whoever talks to the Holy Prophet will become guided, especially if they go for that intention. He died as a disbeliever. The shaitan comes to us through our friends. Sometimes he doesn't come to us directly. He'll come to us through our friends. We have to make sure. Sometimes we have to monitor our friends. If we realize that they are taking us towards hell, towards the wrong actions, then we must try with them. We must give them a chance and try to pull them in. If we realize that it's not working, we have to let them go. Because it might become too late before you're able to do that. And they might be able to drag you. It's very dangerous. It's a very sensitive topic. A man by the name of Hajaba Hussein al-Qummi. He says that I will go with my friend anywhere. I will even go with my friend to the gates of hell. However, if my friend tries to take me into hell, then I won't go. I will try to convince them until the last moment. You should try. However, make sure you don't risk your life and your hereafter. Now, point number 3 is how do we choose our friends? The Imams tell us. The Imams give us many narrations and give us criterion regarding how or in what we should look in a friend. Imam Zayn al-Abidin alayhi salam said, إذا نازعتك إلى صحبة الرجال حاجة فاصحب من إذا صحبته زانك. That if you find yourself requiring friends, and as I said, we are human, we require friends, then befriend, the Imam says, befriend the one that if you do befriend, then they adorn your behavior. They make you look like a good person. They make your morals better. Befriend a person that adds a new dimension to your life, that decorates you as a person. As I said, our friends influence other people's views. So befriend the one that makes you look good. وَإِذَا أَرَدْتَ مَعُونَةً عَانَكَ. And the one that if you need their help, they will help you. Not throw you under the bus the first instance that they get, the first chance they get. There was once two friends that were in the forest. These two friends were walking. All of a sudden they saw a bear. So they began worrying because if this bear sees them, he'll run after them. So one of the friends opened his backpack and he took some joggers out. He took some shoes out. The other friend told him, "What are you doing? Do you think you're going to outrun the bear?" He said, "No, I'm going to outrun you. I'll outrun you and the bear will catch you." How is this a good friend? How is this a friend that I want to be with? So we must choose them correctly. We must be careful what we choose. Imam Al-Baqir alayhi salam, through his father Imam Zain al-Abidin, gives us 5 characteristics that we should avoid in a friend. Imam Al-Baqir said, قال لي أبي علي بن الحسين عليه السلام يا بني انظر 5 فلا تصاحبهم ولا تحادثهم ولا ترافقهم في طريق. That look for these 5 characteristics and do not befriend them, do not speak to them, and do not walk with them. If I'm not their friend and if I walk with them, then people will associate me with them. What does the Imam say? And these are truly beautiful explanations from the Imam. He says, إِيَّاكَ وَمُصَاحَبَةِ الْكَذَّابِ فَإِنَّهُ بِمَنْزِلَةِ السَّرَابِ يُقَرِّبُ لَكَ الْبَعِيدِ وَيُبَعِّدُ لَكَ الْقَرِيبِ. He says, do not befriend. Be aware of befriending the liar. Why? He says the liar is just like the mirage. What's the mirage? Yeah, an illusion. Ahsant. It's I'm not sure if you've been to a desert, maybe not, but if you've seen in the cartoons or the movies, in the desert, in the distance, you've got something that looks like water. It gives you the illusion of water. And it looks like it's close, but the closer you walk to it, the further it becomes. Imam Al-Baqir, or Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, he says in this narration that the liar is just like the mirage, is just like an illusion. They make what's far look close and what's close look far. That's what they do. That's what the liar does. Nothing they tell you will be true. And everything they say, you can pretty much take it as the opposite. And that's not a way we can live with people. Number 2, the Imam says, إِيَّاكَ وَمُصَاحَبَةِ الْفَاسِقِ فَإِنَّهُ بَايِعُكَ بِلُقْمَةٍ أَوْ أَقَلٍ. That be careful and be aware of befriending the dissolute and the corrupt one. Why? Because this person will sell you off with a bite of food or even less than that. There was once 3 friends. These 3 friends, one of them was rich and the other 2 were poor. So one day the rich friend, he told his friends, for the next 3 days, let's invite each other for lunch. They said, okay. The first, he said, I will invite you the first day, and then you take the next day, and then you take the 3rd day. So the first day, they went to the rich friend's house. He had all types of food on the table. He had meat, chicken, fish, whatever you can think of. They ate, and then they said, the next day, we'll come to such and such friend's house. The first poor friend. This friend went to his mom. He told his mother, I've invited my friends over and they're coming tomorrow. She said, well, you know that we're poor. Why did you invite someone? He said, I want to invite them. They invited me. I want to invite them. He began speaking rudely to his mother. His mom said, well, okay, we've got bread and cheese. We'll put that for them. He began screaming at his mother, "What do you mean? You want to embarrass me in front of my friends? No, I want this and this and this, just like my other friend." So the mother was embarrassed from what he's doing. And she did the wrong thing. She listened to him and she went and borrowed money and she did what he asked for, which is very wrong. So then they came, they ate, they were happy, they filled their stomachs. The third day they were going to the third friend's house, which is also poor. This third friend, he went to his mother. He said, "I'm inviting my friends." His mother told him, "Well, you know we're poor. Why did you do that?" He said, "I'm sorry, but they asked me to invite them and I was embarrassed to tell them not." She said, "Okay, we've got bread, cheese and egg." He said, "That's fine, whatever we have." So he put that on the table. They came over to his house. The rich friend sat down and ate. That friend that was rude to his mother, the corrupt, the dissolute person, he said, "Are you mocking us? What is this? You making a fool out of us? You've got cheese, bread, when we fed you much, much nicer things than this." So he got up and left. This friend told his rich friend, "Are you going to leave as well?" He said, "No, I was testing you. I knew you were both poor. I wanted to see what you will do." This friend of ours, he sold us, he left us for a bite of food. So we should make sure we do not befriend the rude person, the one that's corrupt and dissolute. The Imam said, number 3 is إياك ومصاحبة البخيل فإنه يخذلك بماله أحوج ما تكون إليه. That be aware of befriending the stingy person, because they would let you down with their money whenever you need them most. Then the Imam says, إياك ومصاحبة الأحمق فإنه يريد أن ينفعك فيضرك. Be aware of befriending the fool, the foolish person. Why? Because they will try to help you, but instead they will harm you. Do not befriend someone that's a fool. Number 5, إياك ومصاحبة القاطع للرحم فإني وجدته ملعونا في كتاب الله. That be aware of befriending the one that cuts their ties with their relatives, with their family, with their mother and father, because they have been cursed in the Holy Quran in 3 different occasions. This is what the Imam tells us. These are the 5 characteristics we should look for and not befriend this person. Lastly, befriend the person that reminds you of your master. Al-Imam al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan, salamullahi alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Imam al-Qadhim alayhi salam says, يغيب عن أبصار الناس شخصه ولا يغيب عن قلوب المؤمنين ذكره. Imam says that his physical character disappears from the people, yes. However, his remembrance remains vivid in the hearts of the mu'mineen. It remains alive. Befriend the one that reminds you of your Imam at all times. And you remind your friends of your Imam. That way you will make sure your actions are of the actions that will please the Imam. When our actions please the Imam, then we are assisting our Imam in reappearing. Now when we look at Karbala, we find the greatest examples of friendship in Karbala. When the Imam was on his way from Medina to Kufa, at one point his horse stopped. It didn't move. He changed horses with his brother Abul Fadl Abbas, and the horse didn't move either. He swapped horses with Ali al-Akbar, and the horse didn't move. It stopped. It didn't move at all. So the Imam asked his companions, "What's the name of this land?" The companions said, "Tusamma al-Ghadriyat." The Imam says, "Alaha ismun akhar." Does it have another name? They said, "Yes, it is called Nainawa." The Imam asked, "Is there another name for this land?" He was looking for one name. The name that Rasulullah told him of. The companions told him, Tusamma Karbala. The Imam said, this is the land that we will set up our tents in. This is the land that our companions will be killed in. And this is the land that our family and ladies will be taken as prisoners in. So the Imam set up the tents. They set up the tents. And he began giving the banners to his companions. One of the banners he set aside. The companions asked him, who is this banner for? Why are you saving it? He said, I am saving it for a companion of ours that will come to our protection and our assistance. And mind you, at that time, Kufa was closed. No one was able to leave Kufa. The army that came from Sham, they stopped anyone. But there were two companions of the Imam that were able to reach the Imam. How? They came via the river. They swam to the Imam. They went to that extent. Why? So they can die before the Imam. These two friends, and they both encouraged each other to go to the Imam, were Habib ibn Mudahir al-Asadi and Muslim ibn Awsaja. So that while the companions were waiting to see who the last banner, the last flag will go to, all of a sudden, they saw Habib ibn Mudahir come in the distance, walking to the Imam. He came to the Imam says, Ahlan bin Asirina, welcome to our protector. One night, the night before the night of Ashura, the Imam was walking in the camp. Hilal ibn Nafi', one of his companions, he cared so much for his Imam. This is a great friend, a great companion. He said, I was worried. I knew what the Kufans and the people, the Umayyad army are like. I knew they were sly. They're traitors. So I was scared that they would do something to the Imam. So I walked with the Imam. In that darkness, I walked behind him. The Imam looked back. He said, Hal anta Nafi'? Hal anta Hilal ibn Nafi'? He said, yes, my master. I am Hilal. He said, Hilal, why are you still here? Why don't you leave me? The enemies want me. They don't want you. The enemies want to kill me. Hilal asked, and why should I leave you? So that I can live a day extra after you? May Allah make that day revolting. May Allah make me live a disaster if I live after you, oh my master. So they say, Hilal says, as we were walking back to the tents, we walked past the tent of Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam. Hilal said, I waited for my Imam because I wanted to take him safely back to his tent. He said, as I was standing there, I heard Sayyida Zainab telling Imam Hussein, have you tested your companions? Have you made sure that they will not leave you at the time of hardship? Are you sure they won't leave you when the swords begin to clash? The Imam says, yes, I did. I have tested them. So Hilal realized that the heart of Sayyida Zainab was not at ease. The heart of Sayyida Zainab was worried. He went back to the companions. He went back to Habib ibn Mudahir. He told him, the heart of our mistress Zainab is not comfortable. Sayyida Zainab is worried that we might leave. We must make her comfortable this night. Habib ibn Mudahir gathers all the companions and he walks to the tent of Sayyida Zainab alayhi salam. He says, peace be upon you, O household of the Holy Prophet. Sayyida Zainab replies to Habib. She says, Assalamu alayka ya Habib. Habib, please make sure you defend your Imam. Please make sure you defend this stranger in these lands. Habib said, Ya Sayyida Zainab, oh my mistress, these are the swords of your companions. And he lifted the swords. He said, we have vowed that these swords will not be sheathed unless in the body of your enemies. They will not be put down anywhere except in the bodies of your enemies. Habib, he went to the ground. He told his companions, put the dirt over my head. They told him, why? He said, Man ana wa tusallim alayya bint amir al-mu'mineen. That's who am I for the daughter of Amir al-Mu'mineen to send her salams to me. Sayyida Zainab was comforted. The night before Ashura, Imam Hussein gathers his companions. He tells them, فَإِنَّنِي لَا أَعْلَمُ أَصْحَابًا أَوْفَى وَلَا خَيْرًا مِنْ أَصْحَابِي. That I do not know companions, I do not know friends or anyone better than my companions. And he told them, now that the sky is dark, now that it is night time, why don't you all leave me? For the enemies will kill us tomorrow. You will not see a day after tomorrow. The companions began getting up one by one. They began telling Imam Hussein, Ya ibn Rasulillah, wa lima naf'al dhalik. Why would we leave you? لنبقى بعدك لا أرانا الله ذلك أبدا. You think we will leave you so that we will stay after you and live after you? May Allah not show us that ever. يا ابن رسول الله فما يقول الناس وماذا نقول لهم. What do we tell people and what do they tell us if they know that we left you? نقول إنا تركنا شيخنا وكبيرنا وابن بنت نبينا. We told them that we left our master, we left our leader and the grandson of the Holy Prophet. How? What do we tell them? We told them that we did not stab with a spear, we did not throw an arrow, we did not struck with a sword. No, O son of Rasulullah, we will never do that. On the day of Ashura, the companions began to seek permission to go and fight. One of the companions that went and fought was Muslim ibn Awsajah. He fought bravely. Once he was struck, he fell down to the ground. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam ran to him. He rushed to him like a falcon. He went and comforted him at his last moments. Whenever any one of the companions would die, Imam Hussein would go and help them. He would place their head in their lap. Muslim ibn Awsajah was passing away, and the last face he was looking at was the face of his Imam. Habib ibn Mudahir was sitting down at the body of Muslim. He told him, Ya Muslim, do you have any final wishes for me? Even though I will soon be following you, I will soon be dying after you. Do you have any final wishes? Muslim looks at Habib. He says, أوصيك بهذا الغريب. That, oh Muslim, I ask you to look after Hussein. So the companions fought bravely one after the other until the Imam was left alone. I ask you, oh brothers and sisters, the Imam would go and comfort his companions at his last moments. He would place their head in his lap. But what happened to our Imam when he was struck? The Imam did not have anyone comfort him. The horses trampled the body of our Imam. The Imam did not have anyone to place his head in their lap. Instead, his head was placed on a long spear, and it was taken from village to village. We will call with one voice, Ya Hussein, 3 times.